That's your problem talking to you. Your problem, that issue, will remind you of all your failures and how bad your childhood was. Your issue may not be of blood, but whatever it is, it's draining the life out of you, diminishing your vitality, your enthusiasm for living, or your can't read my own handwriting, or your sparkle. But if you just touch the hem of his garment, if you just touch the hem of his garment with tunnel vision. So I'll say a little bit, just in case people. And Pastor, please tap me if I'm telling the story wrong. So the woman with the issue of blood, she had this issue for 12 long years. Back in the Bible days, during that time for a woman, they were not supposed to touch anyone, and no one was supposed to touch them. Because she was considered unclean, the person, if I'm unclean and I touch Pastor is now unclean, right? So this woman went 12 years being shunned, being abandoned, people didn't want to be around her. I didn't read this, but possibly believing that maybe she was possessed with some type of demon, they did not want to be around her because of her issue. They had no idea that this is an issue that she had no control over. She couldn't help that. It wasn't her fault that she had that issue. It's not her fault that she had to carry what she had to carry all that time. And not only did she struggle with being abandoned, being pushed to the side, being neglected, people not paying her any mind, but can you just imagine that amount of blood? You're tired. You're drained. You're overwhelmed. You're overworked. You don't have the strength or the energy to do, say, or be anything. But she picked up the strength. And she made it to the man that she knew had the answer. And despite what people told her, she pushed past the crowd. The crowd that believed she was unclean. She pushed past the crowd of people. She pushed past the crowd of people that said she was dirty, that said she was dumb, she was stupid, that she wasn't worth anything. She pushed past because she knew that her healing was in Jesus.
Hallelujah.
I don't care what your issue is. Maybe you were mistreated, abused, molested, lied on, cheated on, talked about, stabbed in your back. Maybe you struggle with low self-esteem, depression, or anxiety. Maybe mama didn't love you and daddy wasn't there. But God sent me all the way from the other side of Staten Island to tell you that if you dare to push through the crowd, disregarding what the crowd believes about you, and drop to your knees and touch the hem of his garment, Mark 25 and 30, I'm sorry, let me get back to what was it? Mark 5, 25 to 34. It tells us that this woman was shunned and considered unclean. I said that piece. But despite the crowd and what they thought of her, she gathered her strength after 12 long years of being a prisoner to an issue, of being a prisoner to her hurt, being a prisoner to her pain, being a prisoner to her abandonment, her unemployment, her loneliness, her heartache. I'm here to encourage you on today. To push no matter what. No matter what it feels like. No matter what it looks like. Just push. You don't have to carry your issue. You don't have to carry your issue. Go to Jesus. Don't spend another day feeling sorry for yourself. Don't spend another day crying over what you don't have. And please, don't spend another day blaming yourself for an issue which was out of your control. And what I want to say about that, I work and I have been for the last 20 years. I work in a position of a supervisor with at-risk youth. And God consistently, not only do I have 4 daughters, but he always places me with women. He always places me with young girls. The majority of my staff are women. It's something that I know now is part of what he wants me to do. And one of the things that I notice, and it's an unfortunate thing, is a lot of young women, when we're young and yes, when we're young, little girls, I'm talking about little girls, and I'm talking about teenagers, and I'm talking about young women, some of us older ones as well. When a man mistreats us, or somehow, and when I say mistreat, I'm talking about just because you're married to a man doesn't mean you can't be a rape victim. Your husband can rape you too. Just because he's your husband does not mean that he is not the rapist you're sleeping next to. You know what I mean? And a lot of times, we as women, we feel that we have to put up with the stuff that they hand us. We don't have to put up with that. But a lot of the reasons why we do is because we begin to believe all of the stuff that our past has taught us. We begin to believe that those things that everyone said about us must be true. Maybe he's putting his hands on me because maybe I really am stupid. Maybe I really am. Maybe I really am not worth the love that my mother or my father or my uncle, my aunt, my sister or my brother told me I was worthy of. Maybe I am. So then I'll just stay here and I'll just keep working through it. And the unfortunate thing is, women of God, and Pastor, please tell me if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure God does not want us to live in prison. Just because you married that man, maybe you made the mistake. Because if he's putting his hands on you, that wasn't of God. If he's calling you out your name, that wasn't of God. You might have thought it was God. But God is not going to place you next to a man that's going to mistreat you in that way. You know what I mean? And God does not like divorce. Amen. But by all means, pack your stuff while you're crying and book. You do not stay there. Because if he puts his hands on you once, he's going to put his hands on you twice. Right? And it's not going to stop. He'll keep saying, I'm sorry, baby, I'm sorry. Buy you things, make you pretty, whatever it is you like. Because he knows what you like. He knows exactly what you like. Your nails, your hair, dinner, whatever it is. You pack your stuff while you're crying, and I know it ain't easy. I know that it's easier said than done, but God did not place any one of us, not me, not you, not anybody in this room, on this earth to be in matrimony with someone that is abusing us. That is not what he called us to do, to be abused. Then the other thing I wanted to say in that same vein is when our daughters, when our girls come to us, because this is something else that I get a lot at my job. Sometimes a woman is so much in love with her man, so much in love with him, that it's so easy for her to say, if the baby comes to her and says, Mommy, he touched me. And mind you, it doesn't just have to be a little girl. They touch the boys too. Mommy, he touched me. You need to love yourself and your baby enough to walk off. Because all it takes is one touch. A baby who knows nothing, they're innocent, they have no clue. It only takes one touch to mess them up for the rest of their lives. The babies that I have in my facility right now, they were touched at 2, 3, 4. They don't forget. Once you never forget that violation. So if your baby comes to you, if you have a daughter, or if you even have a little boy, and they tell you that the man that you call your man, or your husband, or whoever, your boo thing, you grab your stuff, you grab your babies, and you go. Amen. You get out. Because he's not worth it. And when you, and what I want to say, this is not on my paper, but what I wanted to say is sometimes when we don't love ourselves, when we don't take the time to figure out why we are lovable, why someone else would want to be in our midst, in our circle, anywhere near us. We need to figure that out, because if we can't love us, how do we expect anybody else to love us? They're not. If you can't look in the mirror and say, I'm looking real good.
Right.
You know what I mean? If you can't say to yourself, I'm all that. If you can't say, you know what happened to me is just that. It's what happened to me.
Yes.
It's not who I am.
Right.
That is not who I am.
Yes.
I had a long past. I can tell you, I can give you story after story after story of things that hurt me, but I can also give you story after story after story of how God blessed me through the things that hurt me.
Hallelujah. Thank you, Lord. Yes.
And I realized that He allowed me to go through everything I went through, not just half of it, not 90% of it, but everything I ever went through, was so that way I can come back. He knew I was strong enough to handle it. So that way I can come back and I can encourage someone else. So I can say to someone else, if I can do it, you can do it. If I can make it, you can make it. If I can push past the crowd when they're making fun or teasing or yelling or screaming or believing that I didn't belong in their circle, then so can you. Because my scars I wear on the outside. But every one of us, every woman in this room has a scar that no one can see. You can dress it up with makeup. You can put on a pretty dress. You can wear the best hair. You can spend your money on a wonderful bag. It does not take away the fact that you've been hurt and it's pain that you need to bring to Jesus.
Yes.
Hallelujah.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you.
Push your way to Jesus. They said you never amount to anything. Push your way to Jesus. And I promise you, you will be blessed. And this is the theme scripture for blessed is she who believed that the Lord would fulfill his promises. Thank you.
Amen.